What is welding? Welding is the process of fusing two or more parts using heat, pressure, or both. History of welding. The earliest examples come from the Bronze Age. Small gold circular boxes were made by pressure welding lap joints together. It is estimated that these boxes were made more than 2,000 years ago. Comparison between welding and other metal joining methods. Joining methods like riveting, assembling with bolt, seaming, soldering, and brazing all result in temporary joints. Welding is the only method to join metals permanently. Different methods of welding. This can be classified into fusion method and non-fusion method. Fusion method can be classified as with pressure and without pressure. These are the examples of these two. Non-fusion method. This is a method in which similar or dissimilar metals are joined together without melting the edges of the base metal by using a low melting point filler rod, but without the application of pressure. Classification of welding processes according to heat source. According to the sources of heat, welding processes can be broadly classified into three parts. The first one is electric welding processes. Second one is gas welding processes. Third one is other welding processes. Electric welding processes. It can be classified into 5 parts. Electric arc welding, electric resistance welding, laser welding, electron beam welding, and induction welding. You can see the further classifications in this chart.
Second one is gas welding processes. It can be classified into oxyacetylene gas welding, oxyhydrogen gas welding, oxy-coal gas welding, oxy-liquefied petroleum gas welding, and air acetylene gas welding. Third one is other welding processes. Its examples are given below. Welding joints and positions. Let's consider about welding joints. There are 5 types of welding joints: butt joint, corner joint, lap joint, fillet joint, and edge joint. Butt joint. Butt joint is a joint between two members aligned approximately in the same plane. It is a universally accepted method for attaching a pipe to itself. It's also used for valves, flanges, fittings, and other equipment. Second one is corner joint, a joint between two members located at right angles to each other. They are common in the construction of boxes, box frames, and similar fabrications. Third one is lap joint. Lap joint is a joint between two overlapping members. The weld can be made on one or both sides. This image shows us this joint. Fourth one is fillet joint. Fillet joint is a joint between two members located approximately at right angles to each other in the form of a T. This can be used to weld pipe or tube onto a base plate. Final one is edge joint. Edge joint is a joint between the edges of two or more parallel or nearly parallel members. For heavier applications, filler metal is added to melt or fuse the edge completely and to reinforce the plate. Now we can consider welding positions. The welding position refers to the position of the welding operator towards the workpiece to be welded. Because of gravity, the welding position affects the flow of molten filler metal. It's important to understand the types of welding positions, as different welding processes require to be performed at a certain position of the welder. There are 4 main types of welding position. First one is flat position. The easiest type to perform is the flat position, which is also sometimes called the downhand position.
It involves welding on the top side of the joint. The molten metal is drawn downward into the joint. The result is a faster and easier weld. You can see these images. Second one is horizontal position. This is an out-of-position welding position. It requires more skill from the welding operator to do them well. Third one is vertical position. In this position, both the plate and the weld lie vertically or almost vertically. When welding vertically, The force of gravity pushes the molten metal downward, and so it has the tendency to pile up. To counteract this, you can use either an upward or downhill vertical position. This images shows us this position. Fourth one is overhead position. In this position, welding is carried from the underside of the joint. It's the most complicated and difficult position to work in. In the overhead position, the metal deposited to the joint tends to sag on the plate, resulting in a bead with a higher crown. To prevent this, keep the molten puddle small.